just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without exception. Please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Good evening, everyone. Excuse the hat. I was getting my hair cut. my head's all over the place. Well, my hair is, not my head. Well, you could say my head as well. But anyway, that's why I'm wearing this thing. I've been listening to, this energy, like ceasefire thing by Trump. Trump said that he phones up Putin, and he didn't. He's making things up. He's not actually making things up. And this is what it's all about. But, I think it's a distraction as by what he's going to do, to be honest. With Iran, he's sending an armada, or as he said, a flotilla to Iran, and what's going to happen there. And it's frightening. This is frightening. And I was listening to Rubio today, where Rand Paul, was questioning him yesterday about how corrupt the other fella is, Trump, and this other senator, forget his name, just all about corruption. And he was trying to get Rubio to say yes or no to, was you there? Especially about Venezuela and the oil. And it's we've only got to look at what America is like, what their foreign policies are like. And they're an absolute disgrace. No one's safe. There's the Western media saying that it comes from the East. The danger is from the East. The danger is from the West. You've only got to look at what the American foreign policy is doing. Greenland, take that one. And I'm sure that it won't stop there. Up in Greenland, I think they'll go right across to Iceland, go further east to Iceland. That's what I think they'll do, in my opinion. And then you look at the Latin America, they're definitely going, that Rubio, he wants to take Cuba. He said it. He wants to take over Cuba, so they're strangling Cuba now by the Venezuelan oil, because they supplied Cuba with oil to keep it going. And the restrictions by the Americans on Cuba was shocking. And it has been like that since 1959, ever since Fidel Castro had his revolution and chased the Americans out. Because the Americans it was just a playground for them, but nothing for the people. Anyway, let's say hello to you as well. Sorry about the hat, as I said. Myra. Hey, Myra. Hey, Frank and friends. Hey, boss. Best wishes, FC. The struggle goes on, local and global. Viva la resistance. Yep. Yep. But there's no resistance, unfortunately. From here, anyway. The unfair, you know. Even if Frankie, lads, and chat. Because all them for me. All them for me. Polo. Hey, Frank and friends. Hey, Apollo. Great to see you, mate. They're all letting on to one another, which is good. Excuse me. The unfair law says Frankie is a peaky blinder by order of the Carlyles. Do you know what? I seen, what's his name? What's his face? I was up in Rodney Street a couple of years ago. Well, about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I was seeing, God blimey, what's his name? Great actor as well. I went over to him anyway, and I said to him, listen, what are you doing here? He said, oh, we're filming, you know, Peaky Blinders. I said, oh, great. You know, and he said, yeah, it's a very good series. Do you watch it? I said, I've never watched it in my life. I said, but I've seen you in Jurassic Park. Like, he just started laughing. I've never seen Peaky Blinders. Johan. Because even if Frank and Legends, hey, Johan, great to see you, mate. Really good to see you, honestly. TW. Even in Frank and chat, hey, mate. He's not half generous, isn't he? I'm feeling that. And the Polo says, you're right, Trump is using smoke mirrors. I think Iran could sink the aircraft carrier. I'm serious. I know they can. And they could flatten Israel as well. And the boss says the American dream has become the global nightmare. Ah, great comment, that. That is really a great comment. The rat starmers in China giving him probably saying to him, oh yeah, set up your spy network up in Britain. And oh, you can have that massive sovereign building in London. There is so much to talk about, really, about the likes of this country and what we're going through. The recession hasn't hit us really yet. Inflation's on the rise, as you know. And it's just because of this incompetent government. But it's not only the government, it's the EU. You've got to look at the EU, the way that's run. The WEF put the likes of von der Leyen in as a leader, and she's a puppet. People don't realise that she's a puppet to the WEF, because the WEF wants to squeeze the whole of Europe. And you've got to understand what America did to Europe because of the Middle East. They went into the Middle East to destabilise it so that they could destabilise the whole of Europe, not just Europe, the whole of Europe, both East and West. But they can't do it with Russia, you see. They try to take Russia, but they can't. This is why there's a proxy war. This is why there's a proxy war in Europe, in Ukraine. And what's Ukraine? It's full of Azovs. And if you don't know what Azovs are today, the Nazis. That's what they are. Full of them. And I was listening to a Spanish journalist. And he said the atrocities caused by the regime of Kiev, he said it's horrendous. He said they just target civilians, they target schools, they target hospitals, they target everywhere. They just indiscriminately shoot civilians. He said it's shocking what they're doing. And that's a European journalist as well, Spanish. So if you think, how can I say this? If you think or believe what the Western press is saying, again, it's propaganda. Everything is propaganda towards Russia. It's just Russophobia right through. And all this, you're getting this President of the United States just making things up. He's just making things up. He thinks that he's got taken Venezuela. And he hasn't. He hasn't. Because it's the same government that was already in power. So you see, it's a big money laundering thing. And when he went there into Venezuela, and he was getting all this thing out, and where's all the money going to? Where's all the money going to? It's all offshore. And this is what the senator was saying. And he mentions, millions he mentioned. I think he mentions 1.4 billion. He says, and that's gone to the Trump family. And this is a senator saying to this Rubio. And Rubio wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't admit to anything. Because he was saying, was you there? Was you in the room with these globalists, these billionaire globalists, these oil people? Was you in the room? This is the American foreign policy. But give the senators the due. They're asking hard questions. And they might just think that it stays in America. But it doesn't. It filters out around the globe to the likes of me and you. And you listen to these people with these questions to the likes of Rubio, to the White House staff, to his little circle of incompetence, I'd say. Senators, Trump's staff who he's got around him. And he listens to a fella named Kellogg, General Kellogg. He lost Afghanistan, the same fella. Lost it. And yes, he's taken notice of, with the lies he's coming out with as well, Kellogg. All the propaganda. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, Kellogg comes out and says, Ukraine are winning the war. Only, was it this week or last week, when they're exchanging the bodies, which is a terrible thing. And everybody, the 1,000 bodies that Russia gave back to Ukraine for the last few years, there's only been, I think the most has been 34 bodies given back to Russia. So that tells you the state of play. But you get the state of play with the Western press saying that the Russians and the likes of that Kellogg saying there's, the thousands are dying each week, like 30,000 are dying, 40,000 each week, or each month, not each week, I'm sorry, each month, which is just a lie, just a propaganda to keep the war going. And this is what they want anyway. The military complexes, everything that the military complexes do. This is why there's wars all over the place. With Russia. I'm sorry, with America. This is why. And you get the likes of BlackRock that wants all these wonderful earth things, minerals. This is why they wanted to break up Russia. Because Russia has so much of it. So much of it. That's why they just wanted to go when they really thought that Ukraine could take them on and defeat them. Because at the time, Ukraine had the biggest army in Europe. And thought that, NATO, let's say, NATO trains. Well, we all know what NATO's like. Useless. And now you have this peace thing with Trump and wanting people to join it. And where's that $1 billion thing to join us? Where's that going? It's going right into Trump. It's going into Trump. His big bank account, because he set it up. He's the chairman. That's not going to last. They say, Russia's joined it. But it was a piss take, actually. And Trump was made up, okay, got Russia on there. And he said, we'll take the $1 billion out of the frozen assets, our frozen assets. So it was a piss take, really. And that's the way it is. That's the way everything is going, to be honest, with America. And America, honestly, I said at a very young age, when I was in my teens, I said, America wants to police the world. That's the way it's going. They want to police the world. And he even said, I think I was talking to one of my uncles. I was about 19, 20. I was talking to one of my uncles. And he said, when, the East and West, they unite, he said. And we were talking about East and West Germany. I said, yeah. I said, but it won't be friendly. He said, oh, it will be. I said, it won't. Because America won't allow Russia, or the Soviet Union, as it was known then, to build. Now, you've just had, it's as simple as this. You've just had a fella named Besant, American, obviously. And his proposal is, think about this. He said to the Chinese, listen, Chinese, you see him talking on the TV. He said, listen, Chinese, you can eat as much as you want, but your manufacturing, you've got to slow down. Because we're supposed to have more manufacturing. The USA, we're supposed to have more manufacturing than you. This is the mentality of these fucking people. What given right have they got to say that to a superpower as the Chinese? What right have they got to go into a sovereign country and take out, arrest, kidnap, whatever way you want to call it, a sitting president, and bring them to the States to stand trial? on trumped up charges. Charges that don't exist. So if they can do it to him and his wife, albeit, they wanted to leave his wife, give them that. And she said, no, I'm going with my husband. And she's sitting in jail, apparently. Not sitting in a hotel. And this is what they're like. It's shocking. And yet they think that they've got a right to do all these things. A God-given right. And that's the American attitude, the American way. You've got some ordinary Americans who, see the way it is. But you've got other Americans, ordinary Americans, who are saying, yeah, we rule the world. I've experienced them. I've experienced them, believe you me. They think that they are the... What does someone say to me not so long ago? Europe exists because of us. This is an American, by the way. Europe exists because of us. That's what he said. That's what he said. And I always remember a couple of years ago, I used to I subscribed to this fella, and he was good, I thought, yeah. And he was only a young fella. And all of a sudden, he just came out and said, American. All of a sudden, he said that there's nothing there. England, he says, it's a little island. There's nothing there for me. Who are they? Stuck in the middle of the water. He says, and they're a nation of inbreds as well. And yet he's invited on the George Galway show every now and again. Jackson Hinkle. That's what they think of us. Not just us, but the whole of Europe. And to be honest, Europe is weak. Europe is weak, very weak. But it's coming from Brussels. It's coming from Brussels with von der Leyen. And the Russophobia were there. And if you think, I've said this many times, you've only got to look at their family background in the past family background. The same as Merz, the German Chancellor. The same as Kaja Kallas, that complete and utter idiot. That girl, the chief diplomat of the EU, eats, sleeps Russia. Every other word coming out of her mouth is Russia and the hatred of Russia. The IBR. Even in Captain Kaiser, Tom Peaky Blinder. That's the outfield, though. Telling you that. And the boss says, it's insane and maybe trying to make the sense of global lunatic asylum is as insane. Of course. Everyone's insane, all these bloody politicians. I hate Starmer, says Steve Mulholland. But is doing something right by going to China and getting trade deals. Look, China, in my opinion, is a great they have the best products, especially technology. Do you know what? I ate a pineapple chunk before, and the little kernel, like little things stick in your mouth. I should have brushed my teeth before I come in, but it was late anyway. I like China. I really do. They do some fantastic um, technology. They really do. China. Far better than the, Americans, shall we say. And I be at it to stay Mulholland. The real reason why Starmer is in China is to get A1 surveillance drones and build a police state. It's all, well, yeah, what's the worst thing? What's the finest example for a police state? What's it shown? And it's that ice. It's what Trump's done. ICE is shocking. And it could come throughout Europe there. It could come here. Because he's already set up a sort of FBI thing, hasn't he, in this country? Starmer. Starmer got offered them boys in China. Kevin McAllister, Home Alone mother, as starred Catherine O'Hara. Yeah. Yeah, the Home Alone. I just noticed that before, actually. Frank, you've seen the news about the new Epstein file, say Scott Williams. Scott? No, I haven't. But will it show the other fella? We all know about the other fella because there's photographs of him. I'll tell you what he's terrified of. Things coming out. He's not bothered about photographs as such. With older girls, if you know what I mean. He's not worried. It's the kids. That's what it is. He's terrified of that in case they come out. And Scott says birds getting delivered to Buckingham Palace from Epstein. Oh. Do we believe that, though? That's it. I believe it, you know what I mean? What I'm saying, like, will people believe that? Because they look at our monarchy and think nothing could be wrong with them. And it has been for many years. And this is why I don't like any sort of the establishment, I'm being honest. Any sort of the establishment, because they've done us over. They've always done Liverpool over. Whether it's political, like managed decline. Remember Theresa Gorman, the Tory MP? And she was actually stopped by the police at Lime Street Station in 1992 because she was on her way to give a speech to the Liverpool University. At a university. And the students were all down there demonstrating because what she said only a week before, that she would like to build a wall around Liverpool to show people, future generations, how the likes of us lived. And this is just after, like, the managed decline debacle. If you know what I mean. So I've got I've got no time for any of the establishment. I really haven't. None at all. And the answer to that is to the IBR. Gave him an Arsenal match ball, anything he hasn't paid for. Who are you talking about? You're talking about one of the royals there. Toscana. Buonasera, Franco and chatters. Yes, there's certainly a lot to discuss regarding Britain and the EU. Starmer is a joke, but it's not funny. Not funny at all. But the biggest joke and the biggest danger comes from the States. It really does. Evening, Frank. Lawrenson and chat, says Barry Eldridge. Lawrenson. Loro. The IBR, Starmer probably gooned all over. Starry humans. Buonasera, Franco, and all the chatters love the hat, says Bella. Thanks. I was just saying, I was waiting for my barber to come, so washed all my head, because he needs it. So anyway, he didn't come. He's coming tomorrow instead. And it's all over the fucking place. Mark Carney and Starmer wanting relations with China, and some EU leaders now want talks with Russia. They have finally woken up and realised how stupid they have been. Not the thing is, you see, that von der Leyen, I think it's next year, all energy is stopped from Russia. This time next year. That will be gone. And yet they've done a deal with America, and they can't break that deal for gas, liquid gas, and it's a lot more dear, a hell of a lot more dear, and it's going to affect everybody, us as well, albeit we're not in the EU. Because we sold our gas and oil, didn't we, to America? Remember Thatcher? Remember that? That's why you had massive Texaco garages all over the country as soon as she sold it. North Sea gas and oil. And what does we rely on? The wind? The wind doesn't work. What a fucking life we live. But yet they've got to talk to Russia. They have to. There's no other way. But it won't be on friendly terms, They'll be like, oh, will you stop it? It won't be opening up the likes of the pipelines. It won't be helping to rebuild the Nord Stream pipeline that was blown up by the Americans. And yet the Europeans won't admit it, especially Germany. They won't admit that it's the Americans who did it. Owen Lee, even in Frank and chat, looking very dapper tonight. I'm not, I'm sitting here freezing. That's why I've got this coat on. And my hat is there to cover a multitude of sins, to be honest, Owen. Tony Blair says after the Iraq invasion, he was interrupted by a man shouting, Why, Mr. Blair, have you got a job with JP Morgan? Blair obviously said it was a lie. Right now, he has a 40 million JP Morgan wages. That JP Morgan turns over Nikola Tesla with the energy, the electricity that he actually got, that he brought out, that he worked so hard on. And he wanted to give the world free electricity, Tesla. And JP Morgan said, no, there's money to be made in this. A lot of money. And so did Edison, by the way. JP Morgan and Edison. No, and Tesla, what happened to Tesla? He ended up in a one-bedroom flat in New York where he died penniless. That's what the Americans do. For me, says Boss, there isn't one leader that I would trust to clean my toilet. People keep giving power generation after generation to those we know who are just saying what they think the public want. We've known that for years, but we've got to vote for someone to fucking rule, haven't we? Why? The governing body. Why? You've got to fucking vote for somebody. I was only talking about a certain Liverpool MP coming out with a loads of crap, saying, "Oh, I'm against what Starmer's doing." And I just said, "Fucking resign, walk away. Just say, make a statement saying, no, I'm fucking walking away. This is not the Labour Party. I'm here to serve the people. This is not the same Labour Party. Fucking resign." No, because he's there for his wages. It's so fucking great. This war in Ukraine, around the military shares all the time. Lockheed, Raytheon, all doing well. They've been doing it for years. Polo, been doing it for years. This is where the money comes. And the likes of those military complexes, that's who's bribing the politician, especially in America. And as the Anfield Ross said about Tony Blair, who denies everything, they have to have some Europeans on board. And Tony Blair, I've got to say this about Blair, I have to. Tony Blair could have become one of the greatest of all politicians and held office for years. He could have done it. But again, he was overpowered by W. Bush. He was overpowered by them. He was overpowered by lies about the weapons of mass destruction and what Saddam Hussein has, remember Colin Powell doing this, saying, it was anthrax and whatever. And Blair got up and said, it'll take 3.5 minutes to reach here. Frighten people. They frighten people. And he went along with the Americans. That was it with him. Because I remember saying to a friend of mine, I said, he was the best. Now, he started working at the time of Thatcher. No, at the time of Thatcher, it started working. And I said, who's the best Prime Minister, while you've been working, out of them, right up to today? I said, who was the best Prime Minister? And I'll tell you who was in power, and I'll tell you who it was. It was Liz Truss. She was the Prime Minister. I said, so out of every single Prime Minister, since you've been working in the 50s, who's the best Prime Minister? And he had to say Tony Blair. He had to. So you see, as I said, he could have been, and yet his legacy was Iraq. Was Iraq. That was his legacy. That finished him completely. And once you go down that road, there's never, you're never forgiven, ever. And who's the greatest Prime Minister that people voted for was Churchill. And he was a dog. Churchill. Barry says, a great boss can't stand any of them, to be honest. And the answer, Frankie, is not a binding thing, but the governments only want to ruin our country or countries. Governments tell me a good one. They always do. As the boss said before, they tell you what you want to hear. And we know this. Let's look at Trump. How did Trump become president of the United States for the second time? And it was based on a campaign of peace. It was based on a campaign of peace. That's how he got in. And what's he done? He's caused wars. He's worse than the Bushes, both Bushes, that is. He's worse. People, like Obama, for example, he was a great... He wasn't. He was a fucking dog as well. Obama. Shocking man. Shocking president. But he talked the talk. All presidents are horrible. Every president from JFK, after JFK, after JFK, are warmongers, have been warmongers, every single one of them. So whoever comes in next, when the other fella resigns, when he resigns, he has to, doesn't he? He has to walk away, but he's trying to fucking do another 4 years, isn't he? Trying to bring this into their constitution. Whereas you could only serve 8 years. But he's making everything up, this fella. I think he's ill in the head. I really do. I think he's got mental health issues. In a bad way. As Johan stated recently, Iran is a member of BRICS. Trump is blowing his horn. It's typical White House PR. Yeah. Propaganda. He's trying to destroy BRICS, we know that. He's trying to destroy them. But I don't think he will. I don't think he will. That's Trump. Because it's the de-dollarization, isn't it? This is what the Americans are going mad at. But if BRICS become, powerful enough, what BRICS won't do is sanction countries. And this is why they try to bully the Americans by looking at countries that will sanction you. We'll sanction you. And that's what they do. Sanction countries. Putting tariffs on them, for goods. That just fuck them off. Fuck every fucking burger joint. Every burger joint. Get fucking McDonald's out. The KFC, they'll fuck off. What do you want with them? I only buy European clothes. I wouldn't buy any fucking American stuff. Well, what's it I buy? I don't think I've got anything fucking American. Anything. I've got a Chinese telly. In fact, I've got 3 Chinese tellies. And I have got a license, by the way. See what I mean? I've got nothing American. I just concentrate on Europe, especially for what I wear. I rely on China for the technology. Not that I can use technology, but you know what I mean. So who needs anything American? And don't forget that America, even right through from 1924, when the Soviet Union was sanctioned by America, they just threw sanctions on Russia. Yet right through the Soviet Union, right up to today, and right up to next week and next year and whatever goes on, no matter how bad, the Americans, as you know, just hate fucking Russia. They do. And they have to have the wheat. The wheat. And that's what America are like. They have to bring in, whatever. Whether it's with China, whether it's with Russia, because they need their stuff. They need their stuff. So it's all hypocrisy as well. Barry, Evening Raw, how's your day? Johan. Funny thing is, Trump has Bibi in his peace board. Yeah, exactly. But Milovoski couldn't be in Davos for the inauguration because the Swiss government said they'll arrest him for war crimes. The irony. Exactly. But all as I want, Johan, is this Iran thing. Look, there's people now. Let's take a scenario. I said ages and ages and ages ago, I said stream Iran, stream Tehran. Stream it as it is, because all the propaganda about, having to wear all these things, the women. I said, just have a look at it. Because I've seen it loads of times. Different streams, that is, different times as well. And you see all, people from middle age downwards to like teenagers, women. And they haven't got all those things on. They're all westernized. They're all walking around with lovely gear on. Lovely gear. Going for coffees, meeting up in these big malls, whatever they're called. Young teenagers and, people in the 20s, both male and female, but they're not all walking around, they're showing their hair, they've got makeup on, they've got they're well dressed. these Iranians. And yet, here's the scenario. There's people now sitting in Iran, people going out, meeting up. There's old people just sitting in, watching the telly most probably, like anyone else. There's other people doing things. People looking forward to next week. People looking forward to a holiday, wherever. I don't know. But looking forward to parties, looking forward to weddings. And if this fucking goes ahead, those people who are looking forward to whatever are fucking dead. Are dead. They will be, because that's what Trump wants. And it's all because of Israel. Israel's been going on for decades to destroy the Middle East for the greater Israel. That's why now Israel is actually in South America. You've got Mossad there. Look at all the things and, all these protests and everything. All these protests and killings in Iran. It was right in the middle of it, Mossad. You've only got to look at the big fire, the big forest fire, massive, in Argentina. And who's got arrested? I think it's 5 people. You'd actually see them on camera throwing incendiaries into this forest, setting a fire. Israelis. So you've got to think about that. And all these wars and whatever. And it's shocking. It really is shocking. Dave Bessett was a decent keeper. Nice one. And the road to Barry, cold today, lad. Got a little pointing job, so I was done at 2 o'clock indoors, then just about to crack a beer open, then the ball and chain game. Another 7 hours of work. It's to stay outside. You're a lunatic, you. You're a loony. Got that. Jeez, you're up to it, really. I stopped believing everything coming out of the White House when that crook Nixon got his and the people never learn. Bush Senior, Junior, twice, Reagan, Obama, the backers are the same since World War II. I felt sorry for Nixon. Nixon was set up. I'll tell you for why he was set up. Because he went to China. He wanted to trade with China. And they said, we fucking can't have this. I'm telling you now. And the likes of Watergate, that was well set up for them. And a few other CIA set all that up. The CIA are a crowd of criminals. And what did Trump say? I always remember Trump saying, I'm going to disband the CIA, like I'm going to disband NATO. Because NATO's America, isn't it? NATO's America. And Nixon had to resign. All because of going to China. Do you ever remember Biden when Xi Jinping went over to the White House? When Biden was when he was president, and he went over, and as soon as he gets in his car, Xi Jinping to go back to China, Biden came out and he said he's a dictator. Dictator, Xi Jinping. Yeah, okay, yeah. Biden. Fucking terrible. Where are we going to end up? Amazon losing thousands of jobs. Likewise, Santander, driverless taxis on the way. It's going to get worse, says Barry. Look, there's a big race for everything, technology-wise. And China's leading the race. I'll tell you who else. India. Very clever people in India. I knew by first hands when I was lecturing. Some of them are absolutely amazing. These young Indian students. So, yeah, people think that like India is a third world country. Far from it. A big nuclear powerhouse with brilliant people, brilliant scientists. And this is why the likes of Trump, not just Trump, but the whole of the American deep state want to break up BRICS. They'll do the best, but I don't think it'll succeed. They're too powerful, especially the global south, who want to join BRICS. And you'll get a few European countries saying, we've had enough of fucking Brussels and BlackRock and the WEF. I've had enough. We're going. The unfortunately chained love, they call it. Romances for me. The 90 minutes I got to watch along with Frankie and the Reds, I call my Mrs. Cow. I hope she didn't see this. Sorry about this. Do you know what? I went through the thing last night and never had an itch. Now I've got all the bloody itches to make up for last night. Jesus. Don't know what it is. Amazon not paying corporate tax, but the shareholders will be happy. They've always been happy, to be honest. Always. Amazon. Who else was it? Was it Starbucks? They didn't pay any tax. You look at some American things, the likes of Starbucks, Amazon, all these big American firms, they don't pay tax. They don't pay it. Idiot Macron shut down the Chinese Howell factory just before it was due to make cars. Say Steve Holland. Yep, What else did they do? What's it Belgium do? They took over some firm. Chinese. Oh no, we're taking over this. No, fuck off. To the staff and chase them. But little did they, this is how kicked they are. Little did they know that they had to get the components and everything from China. China went, fuck off. Can we have whatever they need? They said, no, fuck off. That's close down. Pathetic who's running the bloody countries. MCC. Hello, Frank. Hey, at MCC. Thanks for joining us. Lindsay, even in Franco, Paul's well. Thank you, Lindsay. Yes. And the boss says, best wishes FC and chatters off to the cinema. Hope to catch up with the show in the morning. Be well, Frank and Co. Thank you, boss. I wonder if what he's going to see. I watched the film, right? If you like Eddie Marsan, you've got to watch a film. I thought it was brilliant. New one. Not an oldie. A new one called All the Devils Are Here. Watch it. Watch it. Sam Claflin's in it. Watch it. Out of their robbery it is, but just watch it. Eddie Marsan's a great actor. It's one half like him. Ice were trained by the IDF. Yeah, they were, Johan. They were. They're horrible, them people. And they're just murdering their own people. They're murdering American citizens. And citizens now are like, if we protest, we could end up dead. This is what they're like. And this will spread. This will spread. Do you think Trump came up with this ice? No. CIA. And have you noticed they've always got these masks on, and why are they covering their faces, the ice? Hey. And I think it's intimidating. They have to murder a few people now and again to intimidate the public. And this what will happen here. Will happen in Europe. I think France will do it because the French just rise up. They always have done. The French, they were the best strikers ever. Because what the French did, what we never ever did. We just, for example, in Britain, we depended on the transport to come out on strike. But the French don't. They just fucking block roads and the railways, everything. They just block it. And nothing can move. They've always been. I was over there once, and there was a big strike going on. Couldn't fucking get to the hotel. Shocking, was miles away. Miles. Just stop everything. Bruce Springsteen got a song out about Minneapolis. If it's not AI. The AI, I've got to be honest here. In reality, about the AI is awful. It really is. And it is. Point is, have you seen like the way they bring alive I've been watching about Liverpool. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, I'm talking about in the past. And that's what I like about things, you know, historical things. It's brilliant. And Johan says they released 3 million pages of the Epstein files today, but Trump will start a war with Iran to distract from it. They've always been doing it. He's always been doing it. Distraction. And the IBR, David Icke is on Redacted. Go away, is he? I like Redacted with Natalie and Clayton. I like Natalie. David Icke. I didn't realise that he fills out theatres, him. Fills them. And I always remember the press always calling him a loony. He's a loony. He predicted loads that came true. Did I? Thanks for that, IBR. I'll watch that. Or watch the, the recording of it. And Johan, and all of Tesla's discoveries were seized, yes, they were, by the FBI. And guess was the agent leading that Trump's uncle John? Go away, was he? I didn't know that. It's a big club, and we ain't in it. Nope. No. John Trump. Didn't know that, Johan. Thanks for that, mate. Hey, Frank, are you going to sing Matchstick Men and Matchstick Cats and Dogs? I like that, you know. I like that song. And Yusuf, wasn't Neville Chamberlain a good Prime Minister? He was walked over. He was walked over. Unfortunately. It was like not Stanley Baldwin. It was like Asquith in the First World War. And then Lloyd George took over. In 1960, he was another fucking liar then. What did he say when he, to our soldiers who were fighting these fucking, in this war, the trench warfare, where 1 million of British died? Home's fit for arrows. No, there's no fucking home's fit for arrows. The Great Wash. Nothing for them. So I was asked, who's the best Prime Minister we've ever had? And I said, when? I said, when? Well, when are you talking about? And this particular person said, well, Churchill, no one can beat him. I said, oh, right, okay. No one can beat Churchill. And when they look at Churchill, he was a warmonger, wasn't he? Trump is a lapdog, says the IBR, and the Sabbatian bankers who love bloodshed and suffering. Yes, Yes. And carries on. BlackRock Vanguard owns most American companies and even the Japanese and European brands. Yep. His own fucking own Chinese brands though. Stay. IBR. Won't allow that. And Steve Mulholland. I've seen today that Mexican people working in tourist resorts prefer Mexican pesos as tips rather than US dollar because of Trump. Yeah. I read something about that. Oh, ages ago though. That's what they want. But the Cubans, you know that, Steve. You've been there. They prefer the dollar, don't they? Well, I know that they did. Whether they prefer the pesos, I don't know. Ali Argent. Hey, guys. Frank, how are we all doing today? Hiya, Lee. Good to see you. Oh, that's great, that. Very good to see you. Oh. There's one. Think this won't be a 12-day thing if it kicks off. Not this time. No. Do you mean the Iranians? The Iranians, see, this is why Israel, for years, decades, they've been wanting to get hold of Iran and destroy it because they're the biggest barrier for them, for the greater Israel. And that's why they want them gone. And Trump, he's been bribed, hasn't he? Let's be honest, that Edelson gave him $100 million. Think about that, $100 million to for this campaign, and she's running them. Edelson's running them for the sake of Israel. But Americans, every American president has been run by Israel. And I'm talking about everyone. Not JK, not JFK. Nope, not them. But you're right there, is that Telred? I can't fucking see. Is that a T? Yeah, Telred. Yeah, you're right. It's not going to last 12 days. They just installed a Zionist in Honduras a few days. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is what I mean about South America, Latin America. You've only got to look at Mealy, haven't you? You've only got to look at this Mercado. You've only got to look at her, see what she is. See what Mealy is. See why Trump went like that to the Argentinians, population. Listen, I'm going to give you 60 billion if you vote Mealy in. And the ordinary population knew that Mealy was corrupt. And the people said, well, what else can we do? We need this money. It's all right running fucking horses and, a little bit of cattle on the pampas there. And that's how we got back in, Mealy. And what is he? Let you guess what he is. Good to see you. There, Lee. And Myra's here with us, Myra. And Lee, I'm not taking after Gigi. I'm not taking after him. It's just that My hair's all over the place, you know. That's why I'm wearing this. And Zelda, yeah, I spoke about that before, but he was set up. Nixon was set up. See, look, you've got to look at the way the Americans were for years. They hated communism. Fucking hated it. And anything to do with the likes of, going back then to the Soviet, even Russia before, but when it became the Soviet Union, there's all these communists, and they always think that the mentality of Americans is communism. Everyone's a communist. And then, even today in Russia, it's not communism. More capitalism than communism. And they look at China as the same. And that's why when Nixon went to China, he was going along the Great Wall of China and, having this photograph with Chairman Mao. Oh, that's it, the Americans. So they had this Watergate fiasco. Albeit that a couple of lads, from his, the White House staff, Nixon's lads, went to jail over it. And Nixon said, I knew nothing about this. I believed him. He was set up. He was definitely set up because he went to China and he wanted to trade with, we can do business with China. They don't want to do fucking business with you. You've only got to look at that person, what he said today or yesterday. You cannot be, this is what he said, you cannot be, you've got to bring down your manufacturing. We've got to up ours. You'll have to stop. You can eat as much as you want, but you cannot take over us for manufacturing. Fucking telling them to stop manufacturing or slow down. That's what they're like, the Americans. And they just said, like, fuck off. Don't use self-serving tills and use cash as much as possible. Say, stated the Francine, she's determined to go to the stand in a queue to the till, to the girl on the till. Always. But I had to be in a hurry. I was on my way to Aussie. I said, Francine, you'll have to hurry up. So she got one of those things, that you just tap whatever is there, then you just pay for it, if you know what I mean. But they're doing away with paper money. They're doing away with coins. Because, when you get a taxi now, you can pay, when you phone up for a cab, they say, cash or a card. That's the way it is, because they're doing away with paper money. All over. All over. The Anfield, Barry Nash, lad, she, a lovely girl from Cork, and when she speaks fast, the sounds Chinese. When she's lovely girl from Cork, when she speaks fast, she sounds Chinese. When she tells, brilliant. Amazon get massive grants to build their warehouses in poverty-stricken areas, but they always put them where there is no public transport to make staff pay for it. Yeah. And they offered Boss Otter to watch the new Milani movie. Yeah, documentary. She was good time. What good time girl, wasn't she? Milani. That's where he met her, wasn't it? At one of the Epstein things. He's gone. But I tell you what, watch that. All the devils are here. Trump is using ICE as a backdoor to remove gun rights, says the IBR. No, he wants the gun rights, doesn't he? I watched this crime, reality crime in America. Some fucking lunatics there. Guns. If you've been to jail or whatever, or you've been charged with a federal offence, you cannot own a gun. They've all got fucking guns. Go down the corner and buy one off some fella. It's so easy. Everyone's got a fucking gun over there, and I mean everyone. France beat strikers and hang on. France beat France. Oh, sorry. French best strikers. Best strikers are Platini, Papin, and Hongri. Yeah. I was talking to our Francine. I was saying about FIFA, how corrupt it was, and we were talking about. Remember Blatt Seppert, when the fella walked in and was throwing, paper money at him to say how corrupt he was. Remember that a few years ago? And Platini as well, he was corrupt. And yet I said Michel Platini was one of the greatest footballers at sea. And yes, he was corrupt. But you've only got to look today. Why hasn't FIFA pulled out of the World Cup? Because I mentioned about Iran and a flotilla going there now to aim missiles to kill people. People are going to die. People died in Venezuela. You've got Russia banned for going in to save the Russian-speaking people of the Donbass and the other 4 oblasts. He's already taken over in 2014 of Crimea. He says, you're not fucking having that, because they knew what they were up to. NATO. There's no way you're having Crimea and Sevastopol. No way. ICE was established in 2003 by Bush. Trump just increased their budget and deployment, says Johan. The deep state worked on this for ages. That's what I mean. Who are the deep state? The Ukrainians, rent boys, were in court for burning Starmer's property, but complete silence. But yeah, I already mentioned that 2 weeks ago. I said, what's all happened to that now? It's all been brushed under the carpet. Strange, isn't it? Ukrainian rent boys. Ukrainian. Think about that. Lauren Bianchi. Hey, Lauren. Hi, Frankie. I hope you're having a lovely evening. It's good. It's funny. It's not bad, to be honest, Lauren. Thank you for that. Thank you. So listen, is Iran going to be attacked? Or is it a big show of strength? What did he say? Strength is peace. By Trump. And I was asked once, well, you know, just talking, is Trump worse than Biden? I said, yeah, because all as Biden was concentrating on was Ukraine. That's what he was concentrating on, defeating Russia. That was his prime target, was Russia, the breakup of Russia. I said, but with the likes of this fella, and he was always backing whatever Israel was saying by anything they said. Well, yeah, he was there. What you have is Trump. He's the worst president ever, this fella. People say about FDR as well. In the Second World War, they say how great he was, but no, he fucking wasn't. He knew all about the incoming attack on Pearl Harbor, and he could have easily have stopped it. He said, "No, let's have a war." He knew all about it. He was told, like Thatcher with the Falklands. She was told. I always remember Dr. David Owen. I actually gave a talk with Owen. He was the main speaker, and I was after him. Believe it or not, I was talking after him, and he said that when he was foreign secretary, or home secretary, no, foreign secretary, they were told about the likes of Galtieri and what he wanted to do, take over, send an armada and take over the Falklands. And they stopped it. And Thatcher knew all about it when she was Prime Minister. Because her opinion in the polls was so low that she wanted to make a stand for herself. Say, look what we're. That's why she said we'll put the great back into Britain. So if you believe, like in Great Britain, what was great about it? Having an empire, slaughtering people. It's like this fella now, he wants an empire. And if you disagree with that, you must disagree with the British Empire. You've only got to look at Tasmania. And the sailors, when they first landed there, they really thought that the Aborigines were animals. They really thought they were animals, so they killed them all. They just went fucking kill them, shooting them, killing them. I'm sorry about this. My little nose itchy. Big nose. People forget about the child immigrants in cages, thanks to Biden. But didn't Trump put them in first? I'm sure he put them in his first term, And people expected Biden to unlock them. But it's happening now because I was listening to some American photographer, one of the big long fucking lens things. He said it's shocking, the planes that are there and getting the migrants out, with these ISA fucking rounding up. He said you see kids, little kids, climbing the stairs of the plane. Children. And we're throwing them out to God knows what. And what will happen to them. So that's the way it is. It's the way it is with everything. And it's shocking. Biden sent money to Mililowski. The Democrats are not better. Two cheeks of the same. Yeah, they are. I know Biden was, right up. You're talking about backsides. But every American is. Every American president. Every American president. You've only got, they think that Obama was great. He wasn't. He was fucking horrible, him. He got rid of Gaddafi. He set everything up in Syria as it is today. And what's sick of me was fucking this Giuliani being presented at the White House. He's a head chopper. And there's Putin fucking shaking hands with him at the Kremlin. What's that all about? El Giuliani. But mind you, they could be setting him up for something. El Giuliani. El Giuliani. How can you have the destroyed Bashar Assad and his government? And if you fucking believe in everything that he was saying about Assad's government, well, and I always remember them saying about, Christians are being killed every fucking day, This is under Assad, by the way. He was married to a Christian girl, an English girl. And I forget what city it was. Somewhere in, Syria, that it was a Christian city with priests and vicars, a city. And, the government said, if you want to go to that city, by all means, just go. From other cities around Syria. If you want to go, just go. And they did. So it was a big Christian city. I forget the name of it. And I always remember this priest. And this is while it was going on, he said, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying here to look after my church. Don't know what happened to him. He's bound to be dead now, him. Because that El Giuliani was going around rounding up all priests, Christians, killing them. That's the way it is, isn't it? Wasn't he? We'll have that fella on next week. Him. That's it. Aleppo, that's it, mate. Yeah. Destroyed. I said to people ages and ages ago, I said, stream under Bashar Assad, stream what it was like. the cities. I said, look in particular at Homs, city called Homs, and you see it beautiful. White it was, white. Beautiful. And there's a before and after. And what it reminded me of was the First World War, where Ypres, how Ypres was. You see Ypres in one picture before the war and after the war. Ypres, and that's the First World War. Just absolutely obliterated. It's the same now in Syria. And you've got Damascus. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but Damascus was the very first metropolitan city in the world. You know, people say about even Iran as a terrorist. No, it's not. Iran's been going for thousands of years, just like Syria was. But America come in and fucking destroy it. Like they destroy everything else. Thanks for that, Johan. Aleppo. It's shocking the way, as I said, just sitting there, you know, thinking about Iran, that someone is going to die. And not just someone, a lot. A lot. I can't bear thinking about Gaza because every single day someone is dying there. You can't make plans. And as a poem, First World War poem, first two lines says, he's gone and all our plans are useless indeed. And that's the way it is today with people, with certain people, with certain countries, all because of greed of money and the military complexes and corrupt politicians. Corrupt politicians. This is why, you know, we wake up and whatever news you put on, this is what you're seeing. And Johan, a lot of what they destroyed in Palestine used to look like the Mediterranean countries. Yeah, it did. And people wouldn't believe that. Wouldn't believe it. And as I said about this Spanish fella saying what was going on in Ukraine and the atrocities carried out, but the atrocities are not just carried out there. They're carried out on a little tiny piece of land. And you get the, the denials. But how can you deny footage? But with the likes of AI, that's what they'd say. Well, that's only AI. So what's to be believed? What's to be believed? And that's the way the world is at the moment. It's upside down. Or would you call it upside down? Or would you just call it evil? Some sort of politicians, some sort of government are evil and corrupt. Do you know what? I'll have to finish. This is come right out on me, this. And my hands are freezing. My little hands. Absolutely freezing. And don't forget that film, as I mentioned. All the Devils Are Here with Eddie Marsan, and that's Sam Coughlin. He's good in it, Sam Coughlin, you know. Watch it. It's good. And Johan says they are stealing livestock and kidnapping children in the West Bank. Mind you, Hamas is not in the West Bank. This is it, you see, propaganda. They're bad, we're good. If you know what I mean, Johan. They're bad, we're good. It's like America. Everyone's bad, we're good. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. I don't mind. I don't mind, you know, if people were truthful. Governments I'm talking about, I'm not talking about people. We're truthful, but they're not. It's all based on propaganda. You've only got to look at Trump, like yesterday, saying he has a phone call. Oh, him and Putin were talking on the phone. He said, and I said, listen, you know, stop bombing there because it's very cold now in Ukraine. And he said, and Putin said, yeah, I will. Load of bollocks. They never even fucking spoke because Peskov came out and said, never spoke on the phone. So who should believe? Well, I don't believe, I'll just say this, I don't believe Trump because he comes out and makes up things. He just makes them up. If you know what I mean. So I'll be on tomorrow morning. Excuse me. I'll be on tomorrow morning with the film and TV review. And back on again tomorrow night with the watch along. Jesus. No getting away. No getting away. Oh, the lovely Myra. Later, everyone. See you, Myra. Thanks for joining us, sweetheart. Thank you. And once again, congratulations on your engagement. And Johan, he's losing it. Remember when he walked out of a meeting with the oil execs to stare out a window? Yeah. Yeah. But these oil execs, this is what I forget his name, the senator, he was saying, was you there to Rubio? Rubio won't answer. So you know that he was there. So they're all fucking liars. All these politicians. They won't admit to fuck all. He won't admit to nothing. And that's wrong. These people put the... no, it wasn't Rand Paul. Rand Paul was going... It was this other fella about the corruption. This other fella with Rubio. Yeah, I know Rand Paul was... well, more or less, he was cross-examining, wasn't he? Like a lawyer to Rubio. Absolutely brilliant. I like Rand Paul, by the way. Remember when he came out a couple of years ago, Johan, and said, shall we audit this money where it's going? And Biden said no, because it's being he knew that it was being laundered in Ukraine. It's a washing machine because half of us are going back to them. But that other, not Rand Paul, but that other senator, he was saying all these millions are going into the bank accounts of Trump and his family. Think about it. Owen Lee. Thank you, Frank and chat, for another great informative show. Good night and God bless. Cheers, Owen. Thank you, mate, for being with us. That's really nice. Thank you. And IBR. Thanks again, John Peaky Blinder. Great show. Thanks, IBR. Don't forget that film. All the Devils Are Here, if you can stream it. It's fantastic. Eddie Mars, no Americans, because normally you always have an American in, don't you? None of them. Just a British cast. Really good. Lee, I said, no, you're still with us, mate. Night, guys. Take care. Take care. I'll see you soon. Cheers, Lee. Thanks, mate. Lee, watch all the Devils Are Here. You'll be glad that you've watched it. It's good. It's really good. Oh, Toscana. Grazie, Franco and chatters. Interesting reading people's views. The world really is a mess. It's a mess, and who's made it as a mess? Who made it a mess? You've only got to look over the road or across the pond. That's who made it a mess. And then you look the other way, over towards the Middle East, to a tiny little country. And they want everything. And they've got the big bully with them. If they're saying, I want that. I want that. Well, the big bully, they say, if you don't give us over, hands it over. We've got our mate behind us, the big bully. And that's America. Freedom Journey. Cheers, Frank, for hosting. Good night. Good night, legends, in the chat. Oh, cheers, mate. I didn't even know you were with us, Freedom. Will do, Frank. Thanks, Scouse. Lee, you'll be made up with it, mate. Honestly, you will be made up with it. All the Devils Are Here. And it comes from that particular thing. I won't tell you about it, but I'm just saying, all the Devils Are Here comes from a Shakespeare quote. Hell is empty. All the devils are here. That's where it comes from. Thank you, Frank and Legends. Take care, everyone. Smash the likes if I haven't already. Cheers, all. Says Johan. All the way from Mars. I'm in Elon. He's polishing the... he's actually polishing the wonderful big rocket that brought him to Mars, the big SpaceX. He has to keep it up, polishing it. Watch out for the dust storms on Mars, Johan. And Barry says, how does it all end, Frank? It doesn't end. It doesn't end. Because it just keeps going. All is that we've got, and I mean pray, you know, because we've been on the precipice for the last couple of years of a nuclear war, a nuclear holocaust. Armageddon. An Armageddon. And it's still the same today. You know, I think I'm always thinking, you know, this will never go away until someone will just say, enough is enough. We've got to stop this nonsense now. Bella, Franco, grazie mille. Stasera è stato molto interessante. I'm glad that you find it interesting, to be honest. Very interesting. Bella. And our little Marcella. Because I know she's sitting there with you. And she never told me about her Malfi. I asked her how she enjoyed it. And where she actually stayed. And I wanted to stay in a place called Maiori. She must have been past there. But I wanted to stay, you know, really go to a place called Atrani. But it's too steep. It's like that, the stairs. There's no way I'd be able to get up and down them. Little place called Atrani. Beautiful. But around the corner, you know, when you go a bit further down, you've got the likes of the Amalfi itself, you know, the town of Amalfi. But I wanted to stay in a place called Maiori. What's next, Frank? I've got the tomorrow night, you know, I've got that watch along. If you're in, or you know, you're out in town watching the game. But tomorrow morning I've got the film and TV review, and there's a couple of films I really want to talk about. A couple of new ones, by the way, as well. New ones, just like I've been mentioning. All the Devils Are Here. Brilliant. I said, oh, watch this. I was made up the Americans were in it. Just a British cast, you know. Eddie Marsan, what a wonderful actor. And that's Sam Claflin. I was impressed with him. So tomorrow morning at 10:30, if I get up, I haven't slept, my sleep pattern's shocking. And Bella, Franco, where can you watch all the Devils on? I stream it. Shouldn't be saying it like, because they're all listening to me. But you'll be able to get it somewhere along the line, I'm sure, Bella. Now, if you live next door to me, I would have said, Bella, give us a knock, come in, put us on for you. Because it's well worth watching again. There's only one caveat, really. It's always done in the dark. Oh, fuck. That's the only caveat, but it's good. It's good, as the Jamelines would say. The TW. Cheers, Frank. See you tomorrow, mate. Looks like we will have things to talk about. That Fabrizio, Romano is saying Liverpool talking to Inter about Curtis Jones loan. You're fucking joking, aren't you? A loan deal, really? Curtis. Going from bad to worse. Going from bad to worse. Do you know when I'm doing that? It's itchy, you know. It's itchy. It's horrible what I've got. I can't get over that. See, a loan deal. Curtis Jones, what about top? And Barry says, trying to get your book a historical perspective, not having much luck. No, it's, I'll try and get you one. Next time I'm in town, you won't get it. It's been, you know, it's not published anymore. Publication finished years ago. So I'll try and get you one. I have got it somewhere. I thought it was flat. You know, flat down rather than standing up. Unfortunately, I don't know where it is, but it's here somewhere. Show you it the next time. Could be on there. See, this is my bookcase here, you see. And I can't really see, you know, the bad light in here, you know. But I have got it somewhere here. Can't fucking move down. Too many of them. No. I thought it was flat, I would have just showed you. Which is a shame. As you know, I'm useless. No. 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 Sorry. Can't find it. And he said, I know, Frank, it's mad. Bella. Franco, domani ci ricanterò tutti della mia vacanza. Dove if all's well after the go for I've got to have an operation on my spinal cord, of all things. Very dangerous. But it's whether I'll allow it. And if everything goes well, I don't know when it is. the op. Well, I've got to see this neurosurgeon. Can't wait to see him. And then I'm off to a place called Lido di Eslo. So I'm all right for Venice. I'm all right for Verona. That's what I mainly want. For me granddaughter, Sophia, because of Romeo and Juliet. She loves Romeo and Juliet. And it's for her birthday as well. Everything's paid for, but it's whether I can go. But, and that's in May, but in September I'm going to, hopefully I'll be going to Florence as well with Anthony. I want to go to Lucca while I'm there as well, and Toscana. There's family in Lucca. I've always wanted to visit Lucca. And when I mentioned it, she said, my family are there. I've always wanted to visit Lucca. And Johan says, All the Devils Are Here is on Amazon Prime. Here on Mars. Don't tell Elon, I might have to give Jeff Bezos some money. You might not let me come back. So there you have it, Bella, Amazon Prime. Are you going to have a look at it yourself on Mars, Johan? All the Devils Are Here. Okay. Out first thing, but should be back by 11, says Barry Aldridge. It's all right, Barry. Be good to see you, mate. Okay, we're going to try and watch it tonight, says Bella. Brilliant. Let me know if you're a thing in the morning. Do you know when I do that? That's itchy. It's come right out on me. It's really bad, honestly. Bella, let me know what you think of it. It's not a love story, Thank you, Frank, says my old mate Steve Mulholland. See you tomorrow on the watch along. We'll try and catch up with Pole to Pole with Jane MacDonald. It was all about Italy tonight. Pole to Pole, I watched with Portillo, not Portillo. Michael. Do you know what? I'm losing it, Not Michael Portillo. Fucking hell. And I love this fella as well. You know who I mean, anyway. One of the Monties. And Toscana says, apparently Jones is open to a loan move to Italy. I wonder if there's potential of money problems at LFC. I can't see that, Curtis Jones. Now, if I would have been Curtis, or if I would have been Mason, and he said to me, you're going on a loan sale to Italy, okay. Can I go to Sorrento, please? Can I go to Lucca? No, you're going to Roma. Can I go to Inter then? Inter? No, you're going to. Oh, lovely. Buonasera, Toscana, says Bella. Don't want to bother you, Frankie, says Barry. Let me see if I can find it in town. I'll keep my eyes open. Thank you anyway, though. You won't get it, I'm telling you. Michael Palin, yes. Thanks, Trey. Couldn't think of it. Pole to pole, brilliant. I love him. Love him. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow. Let me know, Johan, please. Thank you. You will enjoy it. Be nostalgia for you as well. Be nostalgic for you. You know, thinking of all the Palin, yes. Don't forget to check out, yes, I will. Redacted. As IBA mentioned, says, I'll have a look at them. Now. I have to make a cup of tea first, though. Now. And Toscana, buonasera. Buonasera, Bella. Have a good weekend. Yeah, everyone have a good weekend from me as well. And what I'll do, hopefully I'll see some of you in the morning. See some of you tomorrow night. Watch along. We're not playing carry a bag. We're playing a team that will give us a run for our money. And on that wonderful note, I'll just say good night. Buonasera to my lovely Italian ladies. And as the Berry says, whenever you have your up, Frank, we'll all be thinking of you and wishing you luck. I'll look in tomorrow night. Good night. I'll look in tomorrow. Good night. Thank you for that, Barry. Really mean that. Thank you, mate. And actually, the bigger battle happens before Armageddon. Mog and Magog, Frank. I love you. Yeah, Gog and Magog. We've got 4 statues of them here in Liverpool. Gog and Magog. Nice all, says the tea. And our lovely girls are talking Italian. Ti auguro un bellissimo weekend in Toscana. Good night, everyone. Buonanotte to our Italian ladies. I'll see some of you tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me company tonight, everybody. Love you all. Too.